What's up, everybody? It's Jaron here from Berkshire Bike and Board, and this is everything you need to know about Stage 2 of the 2023 Tour de France. And, it was a good one. We got 210, I believe, kilometers from Vitoria to San Sebastian in the Basque region of Spain. 5 categorized climbs today, so it was definitely a hilly stay. Not technically considered a mountain stage, but it was certainly hilly. They snuck in a little bit in the beginning for the sprinters. There was one sprint, 2 sprint points up for grabs in the beginning of the race. It was like 60K in. Jasper Philipsen took it, stretched his legs out, if you will. But beyond that, it was one for the GC guys, it was one for the punchers, and it was one for Neilson Powless, the Americano. Who the hell is Neilson Powless? Where does he come from? A little bit of a background. Neilson Powless is an American-based cyclist. He's actually part Native American, I believe. He's been at it for a bit now. He's like 25 years old. Raced for Jumbo his first professional career. Switched to EF 2 years ago, I believe, which is pretty fitting considering EF's a US-based team. And it seems like, without a doubt, he is going for the Polka Dot Jersey, which is so awesome to see an American in the running. He was on TV all day. Mom and Dad were there. I mean, Mom and Dad were on TV, which is awesome. It was a pretty great day to be an American cyclist and to watch our boy dominate until the last little bit. The breakdown is basically this. He went off the break with, in the first 10 kilometers, him and 2 other guys. They held him off for, 210K with 30K to go. They caught him, so not even that, 20K to go. So he was out in front by himself or with a couple of guys for 190 kilometers. He made it over the top of every single categorized climb first, except for the very last one, so he got all the Polka Dot Jersey points for the day, which was amazing. And it was kind of cool. It was 3 guys from 3 different teams. They all worked together incredibly well. And when it came to the little punch at the top of the hill climb, they just kind of let him have it. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to be out front to get time for their sponsors on TV, this, that, and the other thing. But I would say, as far as teamwork from non-team members and a bunch of guys working together to get some shine time, chapeau to all those boys who did an amazing job, and a major, major kudos to Neilson Powless, who put in a hell of a show today. The last climb of the day, this is where the race was going to be decided, at least the GC race, I would say. It's called the Jezebel. It was with like 20K to go in the race. I would say 8 kilometers, 5.5%, I believe was the stats on it. It was a category 2 climb, so there's a lot of things at stake here. Let's back up a little bit. Neilson Powless is off the front at this point. He's completely solo. He's by himself. He still looks like he has some matches to burn, but he's not as fresh as a daisy. He's been off the front for 175 plus kilometers at this point. So we come into the climb. He's got like a minute and a half on the peloton, which has got all the big boys in it. Jonas, Tade, you name it. And so basically, we come into the climb and the big boys teams get on the front and they ramp it up. UAE and Jumbo are absolutely starting to pull. We see Matteo Jorgensen, I think it was, gets on the front. He starts pulling for Simon Yates of all people. I mean, they smash him. And that gap goes from 2 minutes to nothing in about 5 minutes, literally. And, everyone has to give a thumbs up and a hoorah to Neilson. He worked like an absolute champ today. But at this point, it's a GC race. So what's up for stake? There's a bunch of Polka Dot jerseys up for grabs. And the big thing is there's an 8-second time bonus for the GC guys. So Tade and Jonas, they both won it. And their teams are pulling them up there about what looks like 30 miles an hour uphill to try and get those points. What happens at the end? We got Tade, we got Jonas. Wout's a few wheels back. Jumbo pretty much pulls up the whole entire climb, and then Tade goes. Jonas follows them. They punch. They get about a 5 to 10 second lead on the rest of the group. Tade goes over the line first. He gets the 8-second time bonus and the polka dot points. And they come up and over the mountain, and something pretty funny happens, which I'd say is pretty standard for Tade at this point. They have like 15 seconds on the main group at this point, and Tade not only goes up and over the climb first, but he's on the gas on the downhill, which tells me, oh, hell yeah, he's going for the line, which is so awesome to see out of a GC rider. He wants to win the stage. And he pulls for about a minute. He looks over his shoulder or flicks the elbow, which means, pull through. And Jonas just goes, nah, bro, I'm not pulling. Like, this isn't my stage to win. I wanted the GC points, and I want to stay on your wheel. They're buddies. Tade and Jonas are both incredibly good, incredibly good sportsmanship. So they're not like screaming at each other or anything. And Tade gets it. I mean, it's probably good for him to cool off the jets anyway. So they sit up. The group catches them. And that is the Jezebel. Let's talk about the descent of the Jezebel and the sprint to the line. So Again, Tade and Jonas come over the top together. They get caught by the big groups, and now they're descending. This is where I wanted Pidcock to go. I'm so bummed because I thought he was going to go on this descent and then hold him off for 5 or 10Ks to the finish line, but it must have just been either he was completely taxed at the top of that climb, or it wasn't a technical enough descent where he can get away, because he's a little guy. You know, he's probably 125 pounds. He doesn't have the weight to plow through a descent in a flat on his own. The only way he can do it is using his mountain bike and his bike handling skills to basically torch a technical descent and hold him off to the finish with a prayer. So anyways, Tom Pidcock doesn't go. The group comes together, and now we're on the flats. And pretty standard what's happening on the flats, basically in bike racing, is one person they'll be in a bunch, right? There's 10 guys in a bunch, and the guy from the back, if he's feeling fit, will come around from the very back and attack and get like 50, 100 meters off the front, and then the bunch catches him up. And then it kind of happens again. It cycles through. One guy takes a flyer from the back, the bunch catches him. Because the big guy's like, wow, he can chase those sprints down or those attacks down, and he wants to go to be a sprint finish at the line. Here's disappointing part 2 of Tom Pidcock. He makes a break for it randomly with like 2K to go. I think it was 1.8 kilometers to go. And it's like, dude, it's not going to happen at this point. At this point, you got to try to sit in and hold the best wheel for a sprint and maybe get second. I got to give it to the guy for going for it. He's a Brit. He's pure heart, but not the best move. That was my pick for the day, so I'm 0 for 2 on predictions. What does happen? I thought MVP was going to be in the mix on this one, but he got dropped on the Jessica Bell, so he's gone. Contenders to win the stage, we had Wout, Tade, and Jonas was maybe going to pull Wout in for the win. Besides that, it was kind of no names like that. It was Wout's race to lose, basically. And so, again, somebody's coming from the back. They're slingshotting. They're getting gaps, and they're all getting caught. And then out of nowhere, Victor Lafay. Is that his even name? Let me check my notes here. Oh, my God. Victor Lafay, a young French guy in Cofidis who I've never heard of, which is, not surprising on my end. But he's not a big-name guy. He comes out of nowhere, flyer from the back. He gets about 100 meters on the group, and somehow holds him off to the finish line and wins the stage. It's huge because he's a Frenchman. It's huge for French cycling because they haven't had a lot of wins lately. Cofidis is literally could go home tomorrow and they'd be happy with their presence at the tour. So it was cool to see him win. I love watching Wout win because I just love him as a bike rider, but it's fun to see things be surprised. This is what bike racing is all about. It was an amazing stage to watch. Last but not least, Stage 3, quick update. What's going to happen? So tomorrow is the last day in Spain. Shout out to Spain for being an awesome place to hold the tour. You guys did an amazing job. It's a flat stage, our first one of the tour so far, which is crazy to think on. It takes till Stage 3 to get one for the sprinters, but tomorrow is one for the sprinters. 200-ish kilometers from Spain into western France. Bayonne, I think, is where they're going, but don't quote me on that, especially my pronunciation. Yeah, one for the sprinters. I'm giving this one to Jasper the Disaster, Jasper Phillips, and if he keeps the rubber side down, he's looking good. I don't think Cav is I don't think the other sprinters are tired enough yet for Cav to take the win. We need a few stages and a few of them to get dropped over the mountainous stages for Cav to have a shot, I think. But, we'll see what happens. So, anyhow, that's the Stage 2 recap of the 2023 Tour de France. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. It really helps out our presence on YouTube. And like I always say, round up for distance, round down for time. Thanks for watching.